NASCAR goes west. What a beautiful sight here in the desert. Las Vegas, Nevada, NASCAR Camping World Truck Series qualifying. Well, don't those skies look beautiful? A little mix of blue and puffy clouds, but whoa, you step outside, you better have it buttoned up because it will blow away. 21, and that's, yeah, you see gusting up to 35 miles per hour. I can tell you it feels a lot cooler than 68 out there.
It sure does.
Today. Some parts of the country you're saying, oh, 68, you poor things. But I'm telling you, it is breezy out there today. We had a couple of practices yesterday here at Las Vegas, and here's the top 10.
Yeah, they were very competitive. You see Johnny Sauter up on top of the board. See back Justin Marks down there in 7th. He led the first round of practice. Johnny Sauter the quickest in the final round.
Vince Welch along with Phil Parsons getting you ready for qualifying here. 32 trucks at Las Vegas for 32 spots. How are they going to start tonight when we go racing? It'll be 2 rounds, single truck qualifying. The 32 will make an attempt, or at least have an opportunity to make a single truck qualifying attempt, and then the top 12 will move on to round 2. And those 12 fastest from the first round will run for the pole. Average starting position of our winners here, 5.9. That's since the new configuration. Yeah. I mean, this track has been changed from where and how it was designed originally.
Yeah, back in 2006, they actually upped the banking and changed the front straightaway. A lot of stuff they changed, and the speed jumped way up when they did that.
Well, as mentioned, we'll take care of things upstairs, and downstairs keeping an eye on what's happening. Begin with Alan Cavana.
Yeah, and I'm here with the Frenchman, Michel Distier. Your first time here to Vegas. What are your impressions so far with the speed and this wind that's going through right now?
Yeah, it's a beautiful track. It's a very technical track. It's my first time actually in Las Vegas, so it's a lot of things to digest. But yesterday we did some practice, and I took my time to discover the track and to have my feeling, but it seems that for the qualifying we'll be much faster. So I'm very excited to be here again. My last race was in Daytona 2 years ago. We finished 10th, so it was a good race. But I'm expecting to do a much better result if we can. So we will see.
All right, well, welcome to Vegas. Have fun tonight. Hermie?
Well, Alan, Jordan Anderson gave us a glimpse as to your trip out to Las Vegas. It seemed like it was eventful getting here. How about since you've been here, your practice sessions, how fast is your truck?
No, it was a great trip. I think we were at 43, 44 hours getting out of here. Came through snow in Phoenix out that way in Scottsdale, but we're here in Vegas. We like our luck. We were good in practice yesterday. We were 17th, 18th, I think, so hopefully we'll build on Atlanta. We struggled last week. Had a power steering belt came off, but we're the little team that can. We're working hard. This is the same truck we had last week. The Elmore Motor Pack, I think it's going to be interesting tonight. I think it's going to see a lot of drafting going tonight, but we're excited about it. I love the track here in Vegas. The wind's really rough, but we should be good. Make sure you guys stay tuned in for later tonight. It's going to be a fun night.
Vince?
Thank you, Hermie. And Jordan Anderson, for those that don't know, and he talks about the little team that could, so to speak, and just he has a couple of helpers, and they do it all themselves, including driving the truck all the way out here to Las Vegas.
Yeah, they jumped in a dually and pulled a tag-along trailer and made it out here, not without some issues, but they made it out here. And one thing about Jordan, and since he came into this series, nobody works any harder at it, and he's really got a nice situation here. Had that great top 10 run at Daytona, so really looking for good things.
Always keeps a smile on his face as you look at B.J. McLeod. You also saw Norm Benning complete his qualifying run. He was the first to qualify, and B.J. McLeod goes by taking the green but not under power, so he's got an issue.
Yeah, he was a little late leaving pit road. He was scheduled to be the first truck out, and he was a little bit late. But I looked over in turn 4, and he was up to speed, it seemed like, in turn 4, and then he shut the engine off.
Ryan Truex was the pole winner last time we were here at Las Vegas and driving that 16 truck, and that 16 team is the team that comes here to Las Vegas with a little bounce in their step after winning last week at Atlanta. Normally we come here, this is the first time that we've come to Las Vegas at this time of the year, and it's going to be the first season in which we've raced in the trucks twice. at Las Vegas. We'll race now, and then we'll race again later in the fall. It's actually a playoff race, so we'll look forward to that. But how is it different, Phil, being here today versus what these teams encountered when they were here last fall?
I think polar opposites. I was talking to some of the guys in the garage area. We were here in late September most of the time. I've just for the last several years anyway. And I said, what is the coolest it ever got in race conditions? And they said, maybe close to 80 degrees, maybe high 70s, 77 to 80 degrees. And, we haven't seen 70 degrees yet. So the track temperatures, I think, is the key. It's probably 30, 40 degrees less than what we would see typically here in September. So I was talking to Eddie Traconis, who's the crew chief for the winning truck for Ben Rhodes last year. And I said, hey, you guys obviously were very good here last year. How was the racetrack compared to last year? He said, way, way, way different. The setup is not that much different, he said, but the racetrack is way different.
Alan?
And here with Justin Haley, 15th in the final practice. This wind is kicking. What will be the biggest factor in qualifying today for you to go fast and get that good lap?
Yeah, we didn't have the best fraternal Artigo Chevrolet yesterday. Unloaded way off and had to get ourselves rallied back in. But the wind is absolutely crazy back here. We're gonna have a heck of a tailwind going into turn 3. So it was really tight yesterday when we loosened it up. So I just hope we didn't loosen it up enough that it gets loose on this qualifying run. But we should be pretty good.
A lot of people want to catch a cloud sometimes. I think they want to catch this tailwind at the right time, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they're going to catch a cloud today, and the wind.
They're going to get a tailwind on the backstretch, that's for sure.
Qualifying round 1 from Vegas continues in a moment. Look at the 1 of Tommy Regan. The 0 had to pull out of line. That's Mike Seneca. The 50 of B.J. McLeod did not complete his run. And there's some smoke coming out of the back of that 0. That's not or the 1 truck. That's not good. Keep an eye on that situation. And meanwhile, we'll check with Hermie.
Well, Vince Myatt Snyder came out of Atlanta with a 7th place finish. Vegas is a different kind of mile-and-a-half racetrack, but this team comes into here with a lot of confidence off that great finish in Atlanta. How has that helped you so far this weekend?
It's awesome. We did take the gamble at Atlanta to get up front at the last restart, and ended up paying off for us. So the whole team's got good spirits. We were having fun last night. Of course, you got to have fun. It's Vegas. This team's just meshing really well, and I think we'll have a really good truck. We'll be fast.
Vince?
Thank you, Hermie. And I like that Myatt Snyder, I think he mentioned it, we're meshing. And when you're with a new team, a new group, it really takes some of that transition time, crew chief, driver, mechanics, everybody to come together.
Yeah, without a doubt, and it's sometimes when it comes together really quick, it can be really magical. And I thought it was a great call by Rich Luscious to put Myatt on 2 tires, see if he could steal some positions. And Myatt did a great job in the restart, being at such a disadvantage with 2 tires over everybody else with 4 tires, and ended up with that 7th place finish. I think they did a great job and overperformed.
There's Scott Stenzel in the 63. Finished up his qualifying run at a 36:22. Currently 2nd fastest of the 3 that have gone so far here in round 1. Alan.
And talking about new, Vince, just about everywhere we go is new for Justin Fontaine. What's the hardest part about this track to learn and learn quick?
Well, with every racetrack that we've gone to this year, it's been a learning experience for me. About 90% of the racetracks I've gone to, I've never seen before. So it's a fun challenge. I love the challenge of learning things like this. But my guys at Nice Motorsports, they gave me a great Superior S6 Promatic Chevy. I'm so comfortable at this racetrack. I love going around here. So I think we're going to be really good today.
They're confident they can get to the next round in qualifying. Hermie?
Well, Alan, another driver with a lot of new going on is Dalton Sargent. First trip in the trucks to this racetrack. What's your impressions after practice?
A lot of fun, really fast. All the guys at GMS Racing are bringing some great Chevys to the racetrack. I feel like we got a really strong 25 Performance Plus motor oil truck. And, it's going to be a pretty crazy race. It's really windy. I think that'll definitely have something to play in the race and stuff. And just got to be smart in the first half. And been talking to Johnny Sauter. He was really quick. And just trying to get the feel for the place. First time here, so, just a lot to learn. But I feel like, so far we're doing a pretty good job.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, there's some possible fluid on the track after we saw that smoke out of the rear end of the 1 truck. So while they're investigating potential fluid, we'll take a break, come back, hope to see trucks on track. beautiful day at one of the drivers' favorite tracks. This is Atlanta Motor Speedway, race 2 of the season for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
All right, man, going 40 laps this first segment. That's the view out front you want to see all day here. Race hard, but be smart. Don't let these knuckleheads put you in a bad spot. Don't get him at the end.
And we're racing at Atlanta.
That's your bumper on you. All clear. Nice job there. Nice and smooth tire management. You'll get them.
This track is like a cheese grater. Eat the rubber right off those tires.
This thing is not over. We still got another shot if a caution does come out. Still all green. Keep working it.
Kyle Busch's lead is now 2.2 seconds over Johnny Sauter.
Caution's out. Back it down slow. Had one spin on the back. Watch for debris back there. It's still spinning.
Coming to pit lane. Oh, you don't want to make a mistake here.
Right, Tolman. Stop.
Slow work on the right front. They're going to go 2 tires only.
So lows in oil rear. Like 0 of them? Yep, 0 of them. Busch just lost a damn tire. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, it might be good for us, though.
The green flag is in the air. Overtime in Atlanta. And the charge is on. 3 wide for the lead, headed back to turn 1.
Here comes Brett Moffitt going 3 wide for the top spot to the inside of Maya Steiner and Johnny Sauter. He's the new race leader.
Oh, yeah! Love you, Dippy. Thank you, guys.
Brett Moffitt wins in Atlanta.
Wow.
Awesome truck, guys. Unbelievable.
How good it must feel to come to Las Vegas with a little extra in your pocket after winning the week before at Atlanta.
Got a trophy in his pocket.
Alan.
And watching that video, I can assure you Brett Moffitt was smiling the whole time. It wasn't your first win in the Truck Series, but it was the first win for your team in its history. What's that like to deliver that win for them?
It's just really cool for Shiggy. You know, the press we got around the world was great. Over in Japan, we were on the front of their newspaper. So
we have that for you. What was that like?
It's really cool. You know, it's really cool to win and then have that on top of it. It's just amazing, and the effort Shiggy's put in, and to see it all pay off and be successful this early in the year is really special. And hopefully we brought the same truck back, and hopefully the Ice and Tundra is just as good tonight.
Same truck. What's that like turning it around 2 weeks in a row in the Truck Series? Is that doable? Is it as good, I guess, as last week?
Yeah, I think so. I think we actually had the opportunity to make it a little bit better. We worked on the package and fine-tuned it a little bit, and you know, it drove really good in practice, and we were a little bit hungover on Sunday morning working on it for a good reason, but, you know, the guys worked Sunday and Monday and loaded up and came on out here.
Only thing better than the first win is back-to-back wins, guys.
Yeah, we would tell you what, I wouldn't count them out. I mean, they were on pole here a year ago, this team. Of course, Ryan Truex was the driver last year, but Scott Zipadelli, the crew chief, the same team, and tell you what, they've shown they have speed, and we'll see how it all plays out here today in qualifying. But I would anticipate Brett Moffitt will be one of the contenders later tonight as you watch Mike Harmon, the 4th qualifier.
Yeah, the time has expired on the 0 truck of Mike Seneca, so he will not attempt to qualify.
As mentioned, 32 made the trip out to Las Vegas, so they'll all start tonight. Harmon, the fastest of the 4 that have taken the time so far. We'll race tonight. 134 laps. You see there on the left-hand part of your screen. 8:30 with race day. 8:30 Eastern.
Talked about Ryan Truex being the pole winner last year. He ran 177.194 miles an hour. Johnny Sauter yesterday ran 179.319. So when we talk about how different the racetrack is, a lot more grip and a lot more speed potential here, Vince, than we saw last September.
Jennifer Jo Cobb, 31st at Daytona, 26th at Atlanta last week. Ran 18th here a year ago. Had a good top 20 run. Just glad to see Jennifer Jo at the track after that big. Hear the feedback from her after that big hit she took
last year
at Daytona. Well, last year here at Las Vegas, Ben Rhodes hit the jackpot in that 27 truck.
That restart looked a lot like Atlanta last week. Brett Moffitt was the one doing it in Atlanta, but it was Ben Rose doing it right there with Eddie Draconis, the crew chief, on top of the box.
I guess that's not too painful for you to watch that. Ben Rose, you were Victory Lane last time we were at this racetrack. How satisfying is it to come back to a racetrack that you won at last time, knowing that you guys can get the job done?
And we have a lot of good memories here, and that's a start. You know, I'm really happy about our Ford F-150. It's showing a lot of correlations from the last race, which is a good thing because we ended up in Victory Lane. We do need a little bit more speed, though. The correlations are good. It's the same exact truck number 37, nicknamed Marshmallow, from the fire back at ThorSport a couple years ago. But like I said, I'm happy with it. I think it's got good speed. We need a little bit more front grip, but I was showing a lot of correlations. Maybe that'll get us back into Victory Lane.
Vince?
Josh Rayome, as you see, posting the fastest time of the 6 so far. Taking a look at the 83, Bailey Curry. You know, Ben Rhodes mentioned the truck and the nickname Marshmallow, and they nicknamed it Marshmallow because it was one of the vehicles that was salvaged from the fire that they had at ThorSport, and it looked like a marshmallow when they took it out of that building. Well, what that team and that organization has been through, ThorSport after the big fire in June of 16, and had to rebound from that, not just in the second half of 2016, but last year throughout the course of the season to kind of get their legs back under them at full strength. And then the switch this year to Ford.
A late switch to Ford right before Daytona.
And they have really had to pound it hard at ThorSport to get ready to go. Bailey Curry, top of the board, and now the 15 of Robbie Lyons is out on track. Hermie? Alan?
Yeah, Vince, we're here. John Hunter Nemechek, not full-time in the Truck Series, but always a threat when you get in that truck. You're coming off your Xfinity Series debut, though, and it was a top 5 after a lot of adversity. How valuable was that experience?
It's very valuable. I know jumping from the Xfinity car back into the truck this weekend, the truck almost feels slow motion. So definitely looking forward to tonight. Our guys have prepared really good. Nimco Motorsports Chevy Silverado, I feel like. So it ran good in the draft yesterday. We're running around this place almost wide open for a whole fuel run. So it's definitely going to be whoever can get out front to clean air and whoever can get the biggest draft and get to somebody's right rear quarter panel to be able to pass. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can stay on top of adjustments and be there at the end when it counts.
You said that word I'm excited about, draft.
Yeah, it's going to be fun tonight. Looking forward to that when the race gets underway this evening, and it will be under the lights tonight.
Yeah, well, watching practice yesterday, it's amazing how many trucks ran together in the draft. It looked a lot more like Michigan than it did the old Las Vegas. Michigan, obviously, that big 2-mile oval with good grip. The guys are able to run around there wide open lap after lap, and that's what the guys were telling us down there in the garage area. Just like John Hunter said, just about a full fuel run, able to run these things wide open.
Michel Distier, fastest of the 9 to take a time so far. Qualifying here at Las Vegas. What a fun place. If you're not enjoying it at the racetrack, you know where you can go. Go to the Strip, always something to do there. 12 have qualified, and the fastest from the Lone Star State, Austin Wayne Self. Remember, the fastest 12 will move on to round 2. And those 12 will run for the pole, but we got to work our way through round 1 first. And Jordan Anderson is on track now, and Anderson shoots to the top. 31:14. And remember, they roll off according to their practice speeds from yesterday. Slowest to fastest, so theoretically they should get faster each time out. Doesn't always work out that way, but Alan?
And Justin Marks was fastest in that first practice. It's your first truck start of the year. You've got speed, but you said this all comes with a learning curve getting back in. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, this is my 3rd truck race in like 7 years. So yeah, these things are just so different than the cars, and when they get in traffic and the way the air affects them and everything like that, there's just a lot of different driving styles. So I got to get used to that. I spent a little bit of time in the pack in practice, but I'll be going to school a little bit in the race. But really excited to be here with David Gilliland Racing, Bo Lamassus, Crosley Group. It's an awesome truck. Right off the truck, it was super, super fast in first practice. So we know it's got a ton of speed in it. I just got to make sure I'm a quick study and do my job.
high-speed learning for Justin Marks tonight, guys.
Cody Coughlin put his Silverado at the top of the board. 31.05.
Cody was poised for a great finish last week. He had 4 tires on that last restart. Ended up having a flat tire on that green white checker finish last week.
Here's the 24 of Justin Haley. Another one of those drivers kind of had some tough luck last week. He was top 5 in both practice sessions, top 5 in qualifying. And then in the race, had some bad luck. Ended up 22nd.
Top of the board so far for Haley. 30.847.
Hermie?
A home game this weekend for Noah Gregson. And Noah, you are a brave soul. Not because I know you can ride around here wide open in this truck, but a couple weekends ago you were on social media after Lindsey Vonn. That was okay. But this past week, Steve O'Donnell, NASCAR executive, daughter, on social media, you are a brave individual.
Yeah, you know, I had to compliment Mr. O'Donnell.
Well, it wasn't a compliment, but whatever.
I had to compliment Mr. O'Donnell and his daughter. She did a nice performance. She was singing on Twitter. He posted a video of it, and you know, I told him if she needed a Valentine, Lindsey Vonn, she shot me down. So I told him that's if she needed a Valentine, I'm the guy to go to.
Did your truck have any additional trouble getting through inspection this week after that tweet?
I don't know. I think it went through good, but we'll have to see in the race. Hopefully nothing bad happens, but in all seriousness, we have a really fast Safelite Auto Glass Toyota Tundra. And my guys from Kyle Busch Motorsports, they worked really hard putting this thing together. Coming out here, it's my hometown race. I got a lot of friends, a lot of family out here, and hopefully we can take home the win tonight.
Second in Atlanta last week, looking to go to victory lane tonight.
Thank you, Hermie. Myatt Snyder just finishing up his qualifying run, second quickest.
Rode along with him through turn 3 and 4. Heard him wide open all the way through there.
And we see the shadows in 1 and 2, and then still under the sunlight in 3 and 4 as we see the 4 truck of Spencer Davis.
Solid start to the year for Spencer. Only going to run this truck 5 races as of now. This will be race 3. The first 2 races had that great top 10 run in his first ever Truck Series race at Daytona, and then followed up with a nice 13th place finish last week in Atlanta.
Well, they had a good run going. I think would have finished better than 13th for sure. Had an equipment issue on their final pit stop, and that set them back a ways. But it's been an impressive start, I think, for Spencer Davis. As you said, this is his 3rd race. His next race will be at Texas in June, and then he'll also run Michigan for his 5 shows for Kyle Busch Motorsports.
The fast racetracks.
Yep. Fastest, Spencer Davis, just 19 years old. From Dawsonville, Georgia. Speaking of youngins, Dalton Sargent, another one who's just 19. Sargent works with Doug Randolph, the crew chief at GMS. Randolph came over from Brad Keselowski Racing and worked with Austin Cindric last season.
Dalton, another one of the drivers that had that top 10 finish at Daytona with a 6th place run there. Excuse me, 8th place run at Daytona.
Slots in the 7th position. 7th of 19. The top 12 will move on to round 2 as Austin Hill works on his qualifying run. A couple of top 20 finishes for Austin this season. Was 11th at Daytona, 18th last week at Atlanta, and be looking to make his first start here at Las Vegas.
Austin was another one of those guys that had a flat tire on that last restart there. Poised for another top 10 finish for him, and unfortunately didn't get the finish they would have deserved, but they ran well, and that's something to build on.
Yeah, nice job for Austin Hill. 4th on the board and a 31.04. And just to remind you, Ryan Truex last year was the pole winner at a 30.47. The track record here for the trucks, Mike Skinner, set back in way back in 2006.
That was the first race on the reconfigured surface.
Here's last year's race winner, Ben Rhodes, and you see it there. It is his only career victory. Drove the 27 truck to victory lane last year, and this is the same exact truck, just a different number within the same organization at Thor Sport.
Going to be a little bit off here according to our tracker. Yeah, only 6th fastest for Ben Rhodes. 31 point.
3109. That's P6. Not sure we're going to make it. What was your water temp there?
Here's some of the disappointment in the voice of crew chief Eddie Triconis.
All about making that second round, trying to make that top 12 in round 1.
John Hunter Nemechek. We heard from John Hunter just a short while ago. That impressive debut in the Xfinity Series last week. He'll run a nice mix of Xfinity and Truck Series races this season. Always a contender when he's in the truck. Normally we see John Hunter in a black paint scheme. A little different this week with the white. 3rd fastest. John Hunter was 4th here a few years back. Runs well on the 1.5 miles. Speaking of running well on the 1.5 miles, not many do it better than this guy, Matt Crafton. Hasn't won here at Las Vegas, but he's been knocking on the door 3 times a runner-up. Never count him out at these intermediate tracks, that's for sure.
Came off turn 2 on top of the board, and they lost a couple spots down the backstretch. I wonder if the wind maybe picked up a little bit in some areas on the racetrack and maybe has hurt some of the lap times for some of these guys.
Crafton 3rd fastest.
I think right now, Vince, what we're seeing is so many of the times that we saw in the combined practices from yesterday were drafting. And we know how much these trucks pick up in the draft. So we may not be able to approach that track record speed, even though we were there in practice with Johnny Sauter.
Here's Justin Marks. 7 more to go. Marks, we heard from him a little while ago and talked about getting used to being in the truck again. He hasn't raced a truck since Atlanta 2016. Only a couple of starts since 2011, so it's been a while, and he goes to the top of the chart. Nicely done. Justin Marks, 30.77, has an Xfinity Series win.
Yeah, he certainly does on the road course, and also had a top 15 finish at Daytona, the Daytona 500 a couple weeks ago.
So with Marks at the top of the board, Grant Enfinger has the time to shoot for. 30.77.
Excuse me, Vince. I was talking to his crew chief down in the garage here, Jeff Hensley, and he said they really felt like they have a great truck. They were 2nd fastest on average. And a lot of the crew chiefs look at that. They want to know what their truck is for the entire practice session. They were 2nd quickest on average, so very, very optimistic. 4th quickest, though, this first round for Grant Enfinger.
Should get him into round 2. Had a bit of a wiggle there coming through turn 4, so maybe tighten that up a bit and be better in round 2. Hermie?
Well, Vince, Austin Hill, good run for your team. 8th so far. It's going to be right there on the cut line, but a good lap for your team. Was that about what you had yesterday, or did you guys make some gains?
I felt like we actually gave up a little bit from yesterday. Our mock run was pretty decent. And then today, I don't know what happened. We just got really tight off of 4. I think it killed us probably a tenth and a half. So, yeah, it's going to be close. It looks like right now, if everybody beats us, we'll probably be 13th. But all in all, it's a plus. You know, we gained on it from last week. We were 18th last week. So I'm ready to get in the race. Felt like we had a good race trim truck, so I'm ready to get going.
Good effort for the 0-2 team, Vince.
Indeed, and a good effort from Kyle Busch at a 30.58. Kyle in the 51 this week. He was in the 4 truck last week, and kind of bouncing around a little bit, and a good way to evaluate his teams, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, because typically we have young drivers in those trucks, and I think that's a great opportunity to work with the crew chief and the guys with an experienced veteran like Kyle, try to get the most out of the thing. And I think then when the young guys get back in it, I think they're just positioned to do so much better.
gives Kyle an opportunity to evaluate all levels of every team, not just the entire organization of KBM, but as each team is broken down as well. And always a threat to win anytime he's in the truck, that's for sure, or any vehicle for that matter at any level. In fact, Kyle's running all three of them here, truck, Xfinity, and Cup. Stuart Friesen slides into the number 2 position.
I was talking to Stuart yesterday in the garage here, and I don't think I've ever seen him any happier. After that first practice session, he was just ecstatic. He said, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable how good this truck is.
Noah Gragson. Heard the interview with him a bit ago, and he is from Las Vegas. Going to have a lot of family and friends out tonight for the race. What a popular winner he would be here in the hometown.
I think he's going to be comfortably in the second round here. He's tracking 3rd right now.
Would knock Ben Rhodes, last year's race winner, out of the top 12. And he does. Gragson 3rd fastest. Rhodes bumped out of round 1, and that puts Coughlin on the bubble. With 2 to go here in the first round. Brett Moffitt, last week's race winner at Atlanta. He'll be followed up by Johnny Sauter, who won at Daytona.
Cream rising to the top here, isn't it? Brett's going to be comfortably into the second round.
A win that was felt round the world. I loved during that interview showing the newspaper from Japan that was trumpeting the win by Shigi Hattori, the team owner for this group. So no matter where you are in the world, it can have an impact.
Without a doubt.
Moffitt 3rd quickest, and Johnny Sauter expected to be right up in that group as well. And Austin Hill on the bubble.
See Johnny also going to easily transfer into round number 2.
Johnny Sauter very encouraged coming here to Las Vegas after having such a good truck here last season. And he slots in the 3rd position at a 30-60, so comfortably in to the second round as well. And Myatt Snyder ends up being on the bubble, but good enough to get to the second round. Kyle Busch, fastest in round 1. Can he back it up and win the pole at Las Vegas? In Las Vegas, the home of Kyle and Kurt Busch. That's Kyle there on the left with the thumbs up. Now Kurt's in the 64, Kyle's in the 4, running the bull ring, and you see back in 2001, getting after it at an early age.
Raced hard back then, didn't he?
Absolutely. Well, a lot of good racing at this facility. There's Kyle in the, now that's in the second. He's in that bluish colored late model, the bull ring. A lot of racers have cut their teeth here, and boy, so many great facilities all in this one area at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You've got a drag strip, you've got the bull ring we're looking at there, a couple of road courses, the dirt track. Here's Nellis Air Force Base in the background. Of course, the World of Outlaws ran here last night on the dirt. Donnie Schatz winning, exciting show. We've completed one round of qualifying here at Las Vegas for the trucks, and here are those that didn't make it to round 2, but will still have decent qualifying or starting positions later tonight.
Austin Hill just outside that top 12. Cody Coughlin with a good run in 14th. Last year's winner Ben Rhodes in 15th.
Remember a couple of years ago, Tyler Reddick won from 16th starting position, so not the most important. You can come from just about anywhere to win here at Las Vegas. Check in again with Alan.
And mile-and-a-half tracks have been great for Stuart Friesen. P2 in round 1. Do you have it for the pole? Do you have that little bit of extra speed?
I hope so. I think we got a little bit more left. I messed up my launch a little bit there leaving, so if we can get that a little bit better and free it up a little bit, I think there's a little bit more there.
He's got a good streak of top 10s going at these mile-and-a-halves. P1 would be great for him.
Coming off a good run at Atlanta last week with that 6th place finish. Was involved in an accident here last year and ended up 19th. Or 23rd, I guess. 19th the year before. They're all lined up. Round 2 of qualifying just ahead from Vegas. In between first and second round of qualifying here for the trucks at Las Vegas. And check in again with Alan.
And 9th fastest for Grant Enfinger. You want to pick up some speed, obviously, in round 2. What's the biggest challenge? We've got wind, we've got sun, we've got shade. What's the biggest challenge to find a little speed?
A little bit of a challenge we got going on right now is we got shade in 1 and 2, which typically makes the track a little freer here, and we got nothing but sunshine over there. So, you know, a lot of times in the truck series of these mile and a halves, we're wide open, so some of it is a matter of shortening the racetrack. I feel like I did a good job in 1 and 2, but I think I tried to shorten it a little too much in 3 and 4. It cost us a little bit. So I think we got a little bit more speed out of our curb records Ford F-150.
Looking for a little bit more, Hermie.
Well, we got Cody Coughlin after his qualifying run. Special guest and family friends, Donnie Osmond. Don Osmond, welcome you guys to NASCAR. Nice to meet you. Welcome out to NASCAR here at Las Vegas.
My first NASCAR, man. I'm loving every second of it.
Cody, talk about your qualifying lap. I know not quite what you wanted. You guys had a lot of speed in your truck yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were just way too tight in the long run yesterday, just chattering the right front tire the longer we ran, so we were really concerned about that. So we threw the kitchen sink at it, and it definitely is turning now. Just got too free over in 3 and had to lift out of the throttle and killed the lap. But we're going in the right direction. It turns, so we'll just fine-tune it for the race once we get out there, and I think we'll be fast. We got a FastChecks.com Chevy and got flying eyes on there. Got them right here. So they're real cool and great to have our pals here.
Well, good luck tonight. And Donnie, you got...
I've known you for... When did I meet you? You were like 16 years old or something when I first met you. Younger than that? 14? 10? Yeah?
Now, you guys are performing at the Flamingo.
That's right.
So how can fans come out to see you guys when they come to Vegas? How do they get in touch with your show or buy tickets?
Flamingo. That was a stupid question.
Well, I'm known for that.
No, we've been at the Flamingo. We're supposed to be there for 6 weeks, and we just started our 10th year.
And you've got a little bit of racing background. You said you won some trophies. All I've been told is that you flipped a couple cars, so can you clear that up?
We're going to leave that one out of the story, okay? I won the Long Beach Grand Prix. I won the Denver Grand Prix, Pro-Am. And, yes, I did flip my car back at the Long Beach Grand Prix back in '96.
Well, you haven't arrived until you flip a car. But, look, I think, personally, I just met you, but I think I've got a chance in show business. So if you don't mind, could I maybe sing a line
for me right now?
Would you mind?
Yeah, but go ahead.
Can you hold this 1 second?
Yeah, sure. Okay, you're making me sick, Hermie. Hermie, you're making me sick. Actually, you know what? To be honest with you, you actually look good in it.
Do I wear it well?
Not really. I'm lying.
Okay, can you give me a beat? And they called it puppy love.
I knew you were going there.
Oh, I guess they'll never know.
Okay. That's horrible. Just horrible. But Marie's
I'm doing the best I can to carry you.
But I got to tell you, Marie's even worse than that.
Oh, good. Oh, so I've got a shot. Please take it away. Please.
So Donnie Osmond and company will be at the Flamingo, and Hermie will be nowhere, we hope. But he is sporting those socks, though. That is a good look, Hermie.
Please, truck roll, please.
Yes. And on that note, tough act. Well, not a tough act to follow. Maya Snyder is going to go out there and going to be a very easy act to follow.
Well, at least Donnie was honest. He said Hermie was horrible.
I liked Hermie's style, though. Coming with the purple socks. Well done, Hermie.
Let's see if Mike can hold this thing down. When you get in 3 here, then you have a pretty good idea what you're going to see and what you're going to feel when you get back around here after you take the green flag. Great corner right there for Mayan. Love that view from the visor cam as well.
Hasn't gotten out of the gas yet. Down on the white line and off a bit now, coming through 4. 31.04 from Myatt Snyder, the first to qualify here in round 2. And you can talk maybe about the line or perfecting the line, getting a little here or there with the line, but you couldn't get any more.
Not much more
couldn't
than
get that gas pedal any further down. He was all the way.
He really did a nice job, I thought.
And here is John Hunter Nemechek. So the top 5, and if you're just joining or watching a Truck Series qualifying session for the first time, after the top 12 advance to the second round, and they will qualify in ascending order from 12th quickest all the way up to the fastest. And the fastest here at the end of round 2 will be your pole winner. And start from the pole later tonight when we go racing. You see there, begins at 8:30 Eastern time tonight, right here from Las Vegas.
See John Hunter right down next to that white line as well. See the tracker? Looked like a good exit on turn number 4. I thought might have got a little high off of 4. You see, that's where John Hunter gained that time, from the center of 3 and 4 to exit of corner.
And a little quicker for John Hunter Nemechek. The unmistakable look of Matt Crafton in that neon yellow. Menards Ford, Junior Joyner, the crew chief. Matt's from California, so really enjoys when NASCAR goes west.
Matt's been so good at the mile and a half throughout his career. Worst finish he's ever had for his best finish at a racetrack is second. He's won it, I think, 7 of the 6 of the mile and a halves that we go to. His best finish here second. He did that 3 times, Vince.
So Crafton third of the 3 that have gone, and as we mentioned, when they go in ascending order, you would think, if everything went according to Hoyle, that everyone would get faster as they go, but you see that's not always the case. We'll see what Grant Enfinger can do with it.
Remember, Grant told us that he thought he left a little bit on the table over in 3 and 4.
Enfinger is Crafton's teammate at Thorsport.
I think he probably meant that he got a little bit too low down there, maybe brushed the apron of the racetrack. See him tracking now 1/10 of a second faster than John Hunter Nemechek. Lost a little bit of that on exit, but still going to be top of the board, I would think.
And he is. Grant Enfinger to 30.93. One of the 3 drivers that has finished top 10 in both races this season, and wouldn't be surprised if we were talking about Grant Enfinger being right there in the mix of things to win this race later tonight. From the Ford to the Chevys, here's Justin Haley out of the GMS stable.
So Justin's round 1 time of a 30.84. If he can repeat that, he would be at the top of the board. You see right now, though, he's tracking almost a 1/10 of a second off Grant Enfinger's time.
And 4th quickest of the 5 to go so far. I gotta believe a little disappointed with that time, but still you're going to be in the top 12.
Yeah,
going to start at worst. Haley's going to start 11th, and they're going to believe they're going to be more than capable of getting it done from that position. Here's Spencer Davis. Been impressed with him through his first couple of weeks here in the Truck Series. 7th at Daytona, 13th with a late issue on a pit stop last week. Really, I thought better than what they ended up 13th.
Remember, you talked about Kyle Busch jumping around within the team. Well, Spencer Davis was actually in the 51 truck the first 2 weeks of the year. Now he's over in the Ford truck. Good lap for him, a 30.695 for Spencer Davis.
Fastest of the group so far. He's got a couple of teammates yet to go as well. Noah Gragson and Kyle Busch himself will qualify here in this second round with a shot at the pole before we're all said and done. Here's Justin Marks in the 54. David Gilliland owned team along with Bo Lamastus. And Justin Marks was fastest in first practice here yesterday, and he got out of that truck and said, this is a truck capable of winning the race.
I talked to him before practice started. He said, man, I haven't been in a truck just a couple times in the last 6 or 7 years. And bam, he jumps out there and goes to the top of the board.
Second quickest of the group here in round 2. And Justin Marks Well, you get to know that guy a little bit. He is an interesting conversation.
Very much
the
an
different things he does.
Absolutely.
Just an entrepreneur, but an outdoorsman, a mountain climber, and he's
going to climb Everest, right?
He is something special. Yeah, it's a good conversation to have. Noah Gragson in the 18, another one of the KBM trucks. Mentioned before, just 19 years old from right here in Las Vegas.
Noah was in the green till he got to turn 3, lost about a half a tenth of a second over there in 3 and 4.
Second quick for Gragson. Brett Moffitt, you see there in the 16 truck. Johnny Sauter, Stuart Friesen, and Kyle Busch yet to come.
We've talked a lot this year about the new option engine that NASCAR has, the NT1 built by Ilmor. Brett Moffitt won in Atlanta last week, and Noah Gragson finished second last week, both with the OEM, the Toyota engine. This week, the only top truck, we would say, would be Brett Moffitt. He still has the Toyota engine. All 3 of Kyle Busch Motorsports trucks have the NT1s this week.
And this is the truck that was on pole here a year ago, the 16 team, and led by crew chief Scott Zipadelli. Not going to be on pole this time, but still a very solid effort. Third quickest for Brett Moffitt. Sets the stage for Johnny Sauter.
3 trucks remaining. Those 3 trucks were separated by 2/100ths of a second in that first round of qualifying.
Sauter, Friesen, and Busch. And here's Johnny Sauter. Season opening winner at Daytona, champion a couple of years ago. Really liked this truck here last year. Thought they were in position to win it. Didn't work out for them. Felt like maybe they gave it away a little bit, but he is just now getting into the green, and it's going to be enough for Johnny Sauter to go to the top with a 30.68.
Great exit off of turn number 4. He went from being in the red to the green, from turn 4 to the start-finish line.
So Sauter gives him a new mark to shoot for, and we'll see if Friesen can do it. Sauter ran a 30.60 in round 1 and a 30.68 in round 2. So off about 800ths. We'll see what Friesen can do. He ran a 58 in his first round, 30.58. He's in the green.
Yeah, great lap going. You see him a tenth of a second in the bank right now.
This is a GMS Alliance truck, and of course Johnny Sauter runs for GMS, so you think that the two are fairly close, and Friesen is even better with a 30.59. Wow, that's almost a full tenth better than what Johnny Sauter put up.
And there's one left.
Kyle Busch.
Kyle's just about going to have to run what he did in round 1 to beat Friesen.
Kyle ran a 30.58 in round 1.
He's going to be a busy guy this weekend, isn't he, Vince?
Running all 3 races here, triple header.
Or don't you know
triple duty, we should say.
Don't you know that he would love to do the triple and win all 3 of these races here at his hometown?
He's won the triple a couple of times previously at Bristol. Hasn't run the truck here since, go all the way back to 2001. I think 16 years old. The only time he's run the truck here at Las Vegas. Has won here in Cup and Xfinity. And would love to put his KBM machine in victory lane later tonight. Out of those shadows through 1 and 2, down the backstretch.
Really close with Friesen's time. See him a couple hundredths of a second to the good.
We've seen drivers lose or gain right here at this spot. What does Kyle do?
He's gaining.
Picks up.
It's close.
And he does
get it.
Kyle Busch, the pole winner for the Camping World Truck Series here at Las Vegas. His 20th career pole in the Truck Series. Remember, he's won 49 races. Second all time. And anytime Kyle rolls out, especially in the truck, you got to consider him a favorite, especially when you look back in the recent years. He's won almost half of the races, or about half, over the last several years. And he's a guy that if he doesn't win the week before, you about count on him winning the next week.
Yeah, I don't think we call him one of the favorites, Vince.
The favorite?
The favorite, I think we call him.
Wouldn't argue that. That's for sure. Kyle Busch, the pole winner, with a impressive run at a 30.57, 200ths better than Stuart Friesen. Coming up next, Monster Energy Cup Series qualifying. Mike, Jeff, and Daryl coming your way. And then we're going to go racing with the trucks tonight at 8:30. See it all right here on FS1. Stay tuned. Cup qualifying next.